There's a rumor going around that you need a massive following, like tens of thousands of people, just to get approved for the Amazon Influencer Program. That's false, and today I'm going to prove it. I'm going to give you 3 things that Amazon is actually looking at when they review your application, so you can get it approved even if your following is small. Hey, welcome back to Amazon Influencer After Hours, the channel for people building an Amazon influencer income without quitting their day job. I'm Scott, and between work, family, and everything else, I get maybe a few hours a week for this. So that's exactly how I'm going to teach you to do it. No fluff, no 40-hour-a-week grind, just what actually works when your time is limited. If you're squeezing this in after hours like I am, you're in the right place. So let's get into it. So let's kill the follower myth first, because it stops more people from even applying than any actual rejection does. Amazon has never published an official minimum follower count for this program, not one number, anywhere, officially. What actually happens in practice is all over the map. Some creators get approved with a few hundred highly engaged followers. Most successful applicants land somewhere between 1 and 5,000, and plenty of accounts with tens of thousands of followers get rejected because a huge passive audience that never comments or shares is worth less to Amazon than a small one that actually acts on recommendations. And think about it for Amazon's side for a second. They're not trying to reward popularity for its own sake. They're trying to find people who can actually move product, meaning people whose followers actually trust them enough to click through and buy something. A small, engaged audience does that better than a huge, silent one every single time. So if you've been putting off applying because you think your following is too small, that assumption is probably what's holding you back, not your following itself. I'd genuinely rather you get an honest no from Amazon than talk yourself out of a yes before you even try. Here's what Amazon is genuinely evaluating, as far as anyone outside Amazon can tell from patterns across thousands of applications, because they don't push an exact scorecard either. So, number 1, engagement rate. This is likes, comments, shares, saves, relative to your follower count. A smaller account with real conversation happening in the comments reads as more valuable than a bigger one that gets posted into silence. And what counts as good engagement is different by platform, so don't panic if your Instagram numbers look small next to what you've heard about on TikTok. TikTok engagement rates run naturally higher across the board for basically every account size. Compare yourself to your own platform, not a different one, and definitely not to some influencer with 1 million followers you saw on a How I Make Money video. Now, to give you a rough sense of what good actually looks like, on Instagram, smaller accounts under 10,000 followers typically see engagement somewhere in the 4 to 6% range, while accounts over 500,000 often sit closer to 1 to 2%. This is simply because it gets harder to hold that percentage as the audience grows. Now, TikTok runs higher across the board, often 8 to 10% for small accounts. The point is to not memorize these numbers. It's to know that a 4% TikTok account and a 4% Instagram account are not really the same thing. So judge yourself against your own platform's normal range, not a number you saw quoted for a completely different platform. Number 2, content consistency. An account that's gone quiet for 2 months doesn't read as active, even if it used to be a couple of years ago. In the weeks before you apply, aim to actually be posting several times a week if you can manage it. You're not trying to fool anyone or fake anything. You're just making sure the most recent version of your account, the one Amazon actually looks at, is a genuinely active one. And number 3, niche relevance. So an account that clearly talks about something, home organization, fitness, tech, parenting, whatever your thing is, reads as more credible than one that jumps randomly between unrelated topics every single post. Amazon wants some evidence that you can actually influence a buying decision in a specific category, not just proof that you can post sometimes about whatever crosses your mind. So picture 2 hypothetical applicants side by side for a second. Applicant 1 has 20,000 followers, most of them from a single viral post 2 years ago. And today's posts get maybe 30 likes and total silence in the comments. Applicant 2 has 1,800 followers, and every single post gets real comments, people asking where to buy something, tagging their friends, actually engaging with what's in front of them. Amazon's whole business model depends on recommendations that convert into purchases. Applicant 2 is a much safer bet for that job, even with a tenth of the following. That's genuinely the mindset shift that changes how you look at your own account before even applying. Now, let's walk through the application step by step so there's zero mystery here. And one quick technical note before we start. If you're applying with Instagram or Facebook, make sure you're on a business or a creator account rather than a personal one, since Amazon requires that for those two platforms specifically. YouTube and TikTok don't carry that same requirement. All right, so let's first pick the platform where you're strongest. And I mean strongest by engagement, not necessarily by follower count like we just talked about. If your quiet Instagram has 3,000 followers, but your TikTok has 800 followers who comment on absolutely everything you post, lead with a TikTok. You can usually add other platforms to your profile later once you're already in. So from there, you'll actually go to Amazon Influencer Sign-Up Flow, which starts with creating and linking an Amazon account, then connecting the social account that you've picked. Now, processing speed does vary heavily on the platform. YouTube and Facebook applicants tend to move fast, sometimes almost instantly, because Amazon can verify those accounts automatically, whereas Instagram and TikTok usually go through more of a manual review, which can take a few days. Either way, your decision shows up by email and inside your application dashboard, so you're not left guessing what's happening. So let's go through here. So this is how you do it. You go to this website, affiliateprogram.amazon.com/influencers. It will be in the comments below as well. So we go here and we click sign up. And then if you have an Amazon Associates account, you can click use existing customer account here. Or if you don't, which is not a requirement, you can click create new account. I'll do proceed to create an account. Sure. All right. So I'm going to create an account here. Scott Lacey. And then you have to get the one-time passcode from your email account. In this case, this is my school account because I don't have an Amazon account set up to it, so I can easily demonstrate how this is done here. Create your Amazon account. There we go. All right, so now what that you get here, you're going to do one of two things. You're going to select your Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, or a Pinterest account. Like I said, some are faster than others, so pick whichever you choose. Let's go with Facebook. And I don't have a TikTok or an Instagram, so I can't do that. But you'd click here, and then you're going to log into Facebook. Stand by. So I'm going to try and see what happens here if I actually sign up with my Facebook account. I don't know if it'll actually work because I have it connected to my other account. But it's worth showing to see, yeah, information is incorrect. Okay, cool. So this is basically it. This is as far as I can take it here on this, but you enter in your information and it gets sent to a review, and then you get an email back saying you're approved or not. Well, this is as far as I can take it here, but basically, once you put in your information, you'll get an email back at some point and it'll tell you you're approved or not approved. Now, what happens if you get rejected? Well, first take a breath because it's genuinely common, and don't take it as a verdict on whether you're big enough because it almost never is that. Go take a real look at your account. Are there old posts sitting there with barely any engagement, dragging down your average? Consider cleaning those up or at least burying them further down your grid. Then spend a few real weeks actually posting content focused on, your niche before you reapply, rather than reapplying the very next day with nothing actually changing. You're allowed to try again, and there's no penalty for it. Now, a lot of people get in on their second or third attempt after tightening up exactly these three things we just covered. There are also a few small technical mistakes that quietly sink otherwise solid applications. So make sure your account is fully public during review, since a private account genuinely can't be evaluated at all. If you just switched niches recently, give it a few weeks before applying. So your last month of content actually reflects what you want Amazon to see, rather than a mix of your old content and your new direction. And double check you're applying with the account you actually want linked long term, since it's simpler to get that right the first time than to switch later. So also, it's one more thing worth knowing, and it's not meant to scare you, just to set expectations correctly. Amazon does occasionally recheck accounts even after approval. So the habits that get you in the door, consistency and real engagement, are the same habits that keep you in good standing afterwards. Now, this isn't a one-time hoop you jump through and forget about it. It's closer to the actual baseline going forward. So here's how to do all of this without it eating your entire week, because that's the whole point of this channel. You do not need to grow a following from scratch before you apply. That would take months you generally don't have. You need to focus and clean up the following you've already got. This is very different, much smaller task. Spend one evening auditing your last month of posts and deciding what to hide or delete. And spend one evening actually posting a few focused niche pieces of content if your account has been a little bit quiet. Then apply. That's maybe 2 to 3 hours total, spread throughout a single week. Not weeks of grinding for followers you don't actually need in the first place. And so one last thing before you apply, don't let this become a project you keep getting ready for. The account you have right now today is almost certainly good enough to try. Now, worst case, you'll learn something useful about what to fix and you reapply in a month. Best case, you're approved by next time this week and this whole series starts actually applying to your own storefront instead of a hypothetical one. Now, I did want to touch base on this. So we do have a couple of different things here that you've probably heard about, and it's on-site versus off-site videos. So I'm going to actually bring up here my storefront, and so you can kind of see, I believe it's the Creator Studio is what they call it. Let me just get it up here before I... Okay, so it's actually called Creator Hub. Let me bring it over here for you. So Creator Hub, this is kind of where everything really lives once you are into the program. So something that I want you to see here is when you guys first log in and you've like uploaded a bunch of videos, like these are some of my videos here. You can kind of see some of the stuff from Viral View, by the way, on here. Viral View, in all fairness, I am an affiliate of them, and I do have a link below for them in the description that I do get a small commission of if you click it. But we use it every single day. It is such an awesome tool. It helps me to figure out what videos are actually working, which ones aren't, and it helps me post them, cross-post them, all sorts of other stuff. So if that's something that you want to at least check out, there's a link below in the description. So all fairness, that's what you see here. But what I really want to point out is what's up top here. So you have these 4 boxes. So views, average duration, average viewed, and earned on-site commissions. So on-site is one you keep hearing about quite a bit, as well as off-site. On-site is where you post videos and they get posted onto the Amazon product page itself. Now, you don't get this automatically when you start and when you apply. You have to put up 3 videos at first. When you put up those 3 videos, they'll go down in the bottom here and they'll say like in review. And once they go to published for those first 3 videos, right? Then the lock symbol that'll be over here under earned on-site commissions will actually go unlocked and you'll be able to post stuff. So you could get them rejected for various reasons, and we'll talk about that in a later video, and you can repost them later. And if you do it, get rejected enough, you have to start all over, but not a huge deal. And that's how you start earning on-site commissions with that. So here's the deal. So next week, I'll talk to you about how I handle like our actual like batch filming system. It's the one that we use to create a week of content in one sitting. So make sure you're subscribed for that. And if you found this useful, a like genuinely helps this reach other people trying to do exactly what you're doing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. It was something you learned a little bit about the process of applying for Amazon influencers and what it actually takes instead of just the clicks through. And so please join us on our next video, and we'll talk through more of the in detail nitty gritty how we film and record videos every week and get them posted so we can help you to start earning money as well. Thank you guys very much, and we'll see you after hours next time.